හොඳයි. සුබ උදෑසනක් වේවා හැමදෙනාටම. Good morning everyone. We are beginning the precept retreat by offering Buddha Puja at this moment, and please join the Buddha Puja everyone. No? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro visada satta deva manussanam buddho Tipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisadhamma sarati Satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisadhamma sarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Everyone, please recite the gathas together with us to dedicate the offerings to the Buddha in the morning, first thing in the morning. And now, Buddha Puja hill hai na?
शिव समानम कर ला देर में कर ला
Okay, so then I think this is the time to observe 8 precepts or 10 precepts. First, we observe 8 precepts. Bhakti Shanta will guide you with the 8 precepts and 10 precepts, and then he will also recite the gathas for the Buddha Puja at this time. 8 precepts or 10 precepts. First, we observe 8 precepts. Bhakti Shanta will guide you with the 8 precepts, and then he will also recite the gathas for the Buddha Puja at this time.
එහෙමනම් සියලු දෙනාම සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න ඉන්න පිරිස නමස්කාරය කියන්ට පංචශීලයේ සහ අෂ්ටාංග සීලයේ සමාදන් වීම සඳහා පළමුවෙන්ම නමස්කාරය කියන්න. එහෙමනම් සියලු දෙනාම සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න ඉන්න පිරිස නමස්කාරය කියන්ට පංචශීලයේ බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි අහම්බන්තේ අජ්ජ ඉමංච දිවසං උපෝසතං උපවසාමි අට්ඨංග සමන්නාගතං සීලං සමාදියාමි පානාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි අබ්‍රහ්මචරියා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ටානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි විකාල භෝජනා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි නච්ච ගීත වාදිත විසුක දස්සන මාලා ගන්ධ විලේපන ධාරණ මණ්ඩන විභූෂණට්ටානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි උච්චාසයන මහාසයනා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි ඉමානි අට්ඨාංග උපෝසත සීලානි සමාදියාමි ඉමානි අට්ඨාංග උපෝසත සීලානි සමාදියාමි ඉමානි අට්ඨාංග උපෝසත සීලානි සමාදියාමි දැන් දස ශික්ෂා පද සමාදන් වෙන පින්වතුන් නමස්කාරය කියන්න දස සිල් සමාදන් වීම සඳහා
ඒකට කමන්නේ ඉජේක අවශ්‍ය නැහැ අමතර මේ හාමුදුරුවෝ විතර බය කරන්න කියලා
බුද්ධම් සරණම් ගච්ඡාමි ධම්මං සරණම් ගච්ඡාමි
6245 main building floor
සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. දුතියම්පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. දුතියම්පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. දුතියම්පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. තතියම්පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. තතියම්පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. තතියම්පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. තිසරණ ගමනං සම්පුන්නං පානාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. අබ්‍රහ්මචරියා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ටානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. විකාල භෝජනා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. නච්චගීතවාදිත විසුක දස්සනා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. මාලා ගන්ධවිලේපන ධාරණ මණ්ඩන විභූසනට්ටානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. උච්චාසයන මහාසයනා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. ජාතරූප රජත පටිග්ගානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. ඉමානි දස සික්ඛාපදානි සමාදියාමි. ඉමානි දස සික්ඛාපදානි සමාදියාමි. ඉමානි දස සික්ඛාපදානි සමාදියාමි. අෂ්ටාංග සීලයේ සමාදන් වුණු, ඒ වගේම දස ශික්ෂාපද සමාදන් වුණු ශ්‍රද්ධාකාමී කාරණේ පින්වත්නි, අද මේ දුරුතු පුරපසළොස්වක පොහොය දිනේ නිමිත්තෙන් සිදු කරනු ලබන මේ උදාර වූ පින්කමේ මේ වැඩසටහන් මාලාවේ ප්‍රථම අදියර තමයි මේ ආරම්භ කරන්නට යෙදුනේ. සුළු වේලාවකට මත්තෙන් අපි සූදානම් කොට ලෞතුරා බුදු පියාණන් වහන්සේ ඉදිරියෙහි තැන්පත් කරන්නට යෙදුන මල් පහන් සුවඳ දුම් ගිලන්පස ඉතාමත්ම සාදර සිතින් යුක්තව දැන් පූජා කරන්නට වේලාවයි. ඒ නිසා බුද්ධ පූජාවන් කිරීම සඳහාත්, ඒ වගේම ඒ ගාථා සජ්ජායනා කිරීම සඳහාත් අපත් සමගම මේ කාරුණික පින්වතුන්ට ඊට සහසම්බන්ධ වෙන හැටියට මා කාරුණිකව ආරාධනා කරනවා. නමෝ තස් භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස් භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස් භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විජ්ජාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරති. සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති. ස්වාක්ඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සන්දිට්ඨිකෝ අකාලිකෝ ඒහිපස්සිකෝ ඕපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තං වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤුහිති. සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ ඤායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරිස පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති. වන්දාමි චේතියං සබ්බං සබ්බඨානේසු පතිට්ඨිතං සාරීරික ධාතු මහා බෝධින් බුද්ධ රූපං සකලං සදා. යස්සමුලේ නිසින්නෝබ සබ්බාරි විජයන්නකා පත්තු සබ්බඥුතං සත්තා වන්දේතං බෝධිපාදපං ඉමේ ඒතේ මහාබෝධී ලෝකනාතේන පූජිතා අහම්පිතේ නමස්සාමි බුද්ධිරාජා නමස්තුතේ ඝනසාරප්පදිත්තේන දීපේන තමදංසිනා තිලෝකදීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුදං සුගන්ධිකාය වදනං අනන්ත ගුණගන්ධිනා සුගන්ධිනා හංගන්දේන පූජයාමි තථාගතං වන්නගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනින්දස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේනනේන පුඤ්ඤේන මේතේන ච හෝතු මොක්ඛං උප්පං මිලායාති යතා ඉදම්මේ කායෝ තථායාති විනාස භාවං අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ පානීයං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු මුත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්නාතු මුත්තම නමාමි බුද්ධං ගුණසාගරන්තං සත්තා සදාහොන්තු සුඛී අවේරා කායෝජිගුච්චෝ සකලෝ දුගන්දෝ ගච්ඡන්ති සබ්බේ මරණං අහංච නමාමි ධම්මං මුනිරාජ දේශිතං සත්තා සදාහොන්තු සුඛී අවේරා කායෝජිගුච්චෝ සකලෝ දුගන්දෝ ගච්ඡන්ති සබ්බේ මරණං අහංච නමාමි සංඝං මුනිරාජ ශාවකං සත්තා සදාහොන්තු සුඛී අවේරා කායෝජිගුච්චෝ සකලෝ දුගන්දෝ ගච්ඡන්ති සබ්බේ මරණං අහංච කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ බන්තේ බුරිපඤ්ඤ තථාගත කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ ධම්ම සන්දිට්ඨික අකාලික කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ සංඝ සුපටිපන්න අනුත්තර ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා කරණීය මත්ත කුසලේන යන්තං සන්තං පදං අභිසමෙච්ච සක්කෝ උජුච සුජුච සුවාචෝ චස්ස මුදු අනතිමානී සන්තොස්ස කෝච සුබරෝච අපකිච්චෝච සල්ලව්කවුත්ති සන්තෙන්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අපගබ්බෝ කුලේසු අනනුගෙද්දෝ නචකොද්දං සමාචරේ කිංචියේන විඤ්ඤෝපරේ උපවදෙය්‍යොං සුඛිනෝවා khේමිනෝහන්තෝ සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා ඒකේචිපානභූතත්ති තසවතාවරාවා අනවසේසා දීඝාවායේ මහන්තාවා මජ්ජිමාරස්ස කානුකතුලා දිට්ඨාවායේව අද්දිට්ඨා යේචදුරේ වසන්ති අවිදුරේ භූතාවා සම්භවේසීවා සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා නපරෝ පරංනිකුම්බේත නාතිමඤ්ඤේත කත්තචිනංකංචි ව්‍යාරෝසනා පටිග සංඥා නාඤ්ඤමඤ්ඤස්ස දුක්ඛමෙච්චෙය්‍ය මාතා යතානියං පුත්තං ආයුසා ඒක පුත්ත මනුරක්ඛේ ඒවම්පි සබ්බ භූතේසු මාන සම්භාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තංච සබ්බ ලෝකස්මින් මාන සම්භාවයේ අපරිමාණං උද්ධං අදෝච තිරියංච අසම්බාධං අවේරං අසපත්තං තිට්ඨං චරං නිසින්නෝවා සයානෝවා යාවතස්ස විගත මිද්දෝ ඒතං සතින් අදිට්ඨේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉද්ධමාහෝ දිට්ඨිංච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනෙය්‍යගේධං නහි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙයං පුනරේතිතේ ඒතේන සච්චවජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්චවජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතේන සච්චවජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්칸තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සදාසුත්ති භවන්තුතේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්කන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සදාසුත්ති භවන්තුතේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්කන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදාසුත්ති භවන්තුතේ නක්ඛත් යක්ඛභූතානං පාපග්ගහ නිවාරණං පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන සදාසුත්ති භවන්තුතේ නක්ඛත් යක්ඛභූතානං පාපග්ගහ නිවාරණං පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන සදාසුත්ති භවන්තුතේ නක්ඛත් යක්ඛභූතානං පාපග්ගහ නිවාරණං පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන සදාසුත්ති භවන්තුතේ අභිවාදන සීලෙස්ස නිච්ඡං වද්ධාපචායිනෝ චත්තාරෝ ධම්මා වඩ්ඩන්ති ආයුවන්නෝ සුඛං බලං ආයුරාරෝග්‍ය සම්පatti සග්ග සම්පatti මේවච අතෝ නිබ්බාන සම්පatti ඉමිනාතේ සමිජ්ජතු ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්칸තු ලෝක සාසනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්칸තු දේශනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්칸තු ත්වං සදා දේවෝ වස්සතු කාලේන සස්ස සම්පත්ති හේතුච පීතෝ භවතු ලෝකෝච රාජා භවතු ධම්මිකෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤකම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤකම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤකම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බානපත්තියා සාදු සාදු සාදු. ශ්‍රද්ධාකාමී කාරුණික පින්වත්නි, මේ වෙලාවේදී මේ කාරුණික පින්වතුන් විසින් ගිහියන් වශයෙන් මේ පුණු පොහෝ දවස නිමිති කරගෙන අෂ්ටාංග උපෝසත සීලය සමාදන් වෙලා, ඒ වගේම දස ශික්ෂාපද සමාදන් වෙලා, ඊ타මත්ම උපාසක මහත්මයෙකු තුල තිබිය යුතු ඒ ගුණධර්ම සමූහය ආරක්ෂා කරගෙන තිසරණ සවිතව මේ සිල් ආරක්ෂා කිරීම පිළිබඳව අධිෂ්ඨානයකින් කටයුතු කරන, ඒ වගේම ලෞතුරා බුදු පියාණන් වහන්සේ උදෙසා ඊ타මත්ම භක්තියෙන් යුක්තව ඒ මල් පහන් සුවඳ දුම් ගිලන්පස බුද්ධ පූජාවන් පවත්වලා සිත කය වචනය කියන මේ ත්‍රිවිධ ద్వාරයෙන්ම මහත් වූ පුණ්‍යස්කන්ධයක් මේ වෙලාවේදී රැස් කරගෙන ඉන්න වෙලාව. මේ දුරුතු පුණු පොහෝ දවස 2021 වර්ෂයේ මුල්ම පොහොය හැටියට අපි සලකනවා. 2020 වර්ෂය ආරම්භ වුණා විතරයි අපි දන්නෙත් නැතුවම ඒක ගෙවිලා ගිහිල්ලා. හරියට නිකන් හොරු අරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා වගේ. නිකන් කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න, ඒ ගිය වර්ෂයේ මාස 2-3 ගත වුණා පමණයි. එතෙන් පටන් කොටින්ම කියනවා නම් මගේ මතකයේ හැටියට මාර්තු මාසයේ ඉඳලා ඒ ගිය වර්ෂයේ ගත වෙලා ඉවර වෙනකම්මත් ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි, අලුත් වර්ෂයක් උදා වුණත් තවමත් අපි මේ ගත කරන මේ ජීවිතය පිළිබඳව එක් තැනකට ගාල් කරන හරක් රැලක් වගේ අපි හැම කෙනෙක්ම අද ගෙවල් වලට ගාල් වෙලා තමන්ගේ දූ දරුවන් සහිතව හැම කෙනෙක්ම ඒකට ලක් වෙලා ඉන්නවා. ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි. මහත් බයකින් කටයුතු කරන්නේ. ගමනක් බිමනක් යන්නට, තමන්ගේ නෑද හිත මිත්‍රයෙක් බලන්නට, පිනක් දහමක් කරගන්නට විහාරස්ථානයකට යන්නට, පල්ලියකට යන්නට, මේ හැම දෙයක්ම සේරම අවුල් වෙලා. ඒ විතරක්ද? නැවත හෙට දවසක් පිළිබඳව හරියටම අපට තීරණයක් ගන්න බෑ. අවිනිශ්චිත කාල පරිච්ඡේදයක්. එක ප්‍රදේශයකට, එහෙම නැත්නම් එක රටකට නෑ. මුළු මහත් ලෝකයටම මේ ව්‍යසනදායි ව්‍යසනකාරී අවස්ථාවක් උදා වෙලා තියෙනවා. ගිය වර්ෂයේ පටන්. තව කොපමණ කාලයක් ඉදිරියට ඇදී යයිද කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්කමකුත් නෑ. මේ මෑතක මංට ඇහුණ කියනවා අර ඇමසන් ගංගාව ඒ මහා වනාන්තරවල වාසය කරන ඉතා කුඩා කුඩා කොටස් ගෝත්‍රික ජනතාව වාසය කරනවා කැලෑවන් වල. ඒ අය සමාජයට එන්නේ නෑ එහෙම. එවැනි ගෝත්‍රික සමාජවලටත් දැන් මේ ව්‍යසනය බලපාල තියෙනොයි කියලා. කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න මේක මොන තරම් අභාග්‍ය සම්පන්න අවස්ථාවක්ද කියලා. කිසි කෙනෙකුට එයින් බැහැරවෙන්ට පුළුවන්කමක් නෑ. හැම කෙනෙක්ම මිනිසුන් හැටියට මේකට මුහුණ දෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ අවිනිශ්චිත කාල පරිච්ඡේදය තම තමන්ට ආරක්ෂා වෙලා ඉන්ට සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. එහෙමනම් මොකද්ද මේ දෙන පණිවුඩය? මේ දෙන පණිවුඩය තමයි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන්ම තමන්ගේ විමුක්තිය තමා විසින් සලසා ගත යුතුයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි. තම තමන්ගේ ජීවිත පිළිබඳව කල්පනා කරලා එහි අනිත්‍යතාවේ යථා ස්වභාවය අපි තේරුම් ගත යුතුව තියෙනවා. ජීවිතවල තියෙන අනිත්‍යතාවය. කොයි මොහොතක කවරෙකුට මේ රෝගය වැළඳෙයිද? ඒ රෝගයෙන් ඒ අයගේ ජීවිත විනාශ වෙයිද? ආදී වශයෙන් මේ අවිනිශ්චිතතාවයක් හැම කෙනෙකු තුළම ඇති වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ ඇතිවීමත් සමගම අපට ඇතිවෙන්නේ මොකක්ද? ජීවිතය පිළිබඳව කලකිරීමක්. හරියටම හරි. ඒක තමයි ඇතිවිය යුත්තේ. මේ කලකිරීම නිසා තමයි නියම සත්‍යය සොයාගෙන යන්ට අපට අවස්ථාව සැලසෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම මේ සාංසාරික ගමනේදී අපට අවශ්‍ය කරන උදාර කුසල කර්මයන් සිදු කර ගනිමින් නිර්වාණය සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන මාර්ග උපකරණ එහෙම නැත්තං පුුණ්‍ය නැමති නිධානයන් තැන්පත් කරගන්නට ඉතාමත්ම වටිනා යෝග්‍ය කාලයක් හැටියටයි මේ වකවානුව මට පෙනෙන්නේ. 2021 මේ පළවෙනි පොහොය දවසේ මේ දුරුතු මාසේ ලෝකවාසීන්ට වඩා ලංකාවාසීන් හැටියට අපි සතුටු වෙන්නට ඕන. මොකද බුදුපියාණන් වහන්සේගේ ඒ බුද්ධත්වයෙන් පස්සේ මාස 9ක් ගතවෙන්නටත් පෙරාතුවම වගේ අපේ රටට ලොවතුරා බුදුපියාණන් වහන්සේ වැඩිය. උන්වහන්සේගේ දහම අසන්නට ලැබුණ බෞද්ධයින් හැටියට. එදා පටන් මේ මොහොත දක්වාම ඒ ධර්මය ආරක්ෂා කරගැනීමේ ගෞරවය ශ්‍රී ලංකාවාසී සියලු දෙනාටම හිමි වෙනවා. මුළු ලෝකයකට ධර්මය බෙදා දෙන්නට ඒ ධර්මය එකතු පාදා කරගෙන ඒක ආරක්ෂා කිරීම මහත් භාග්‍යයක් හැටියට සලකන්ට ඕන බෞද්ධ සිංහලයන් හැටියට. ඒ නිසා මේ වෙලාවේදී කල්පනා කරගන්නට අවස්ථානුකූලව අපි සිල් සමාදන් වෙලා බුද්ධ පූජාවන් පවත්වලා මේ සුළු දහම් පණිවිඩයටත් ඇහුම්කන් දීලා විශාල ආනිසංස ධර්මයක් රැස් කරගත්තා. මේ රැස් කරගත්තා උදාර ආනිසංස ධර්මයන්ගේ බලයෙන් ශක්තියෙන් මේ හැම කෙනෙකුටම සිතක් ශාන්තියක්ම සිද්ධ වේවා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන බෝධියකින් නිවන් සුව සාදා ගැනීම සඳහාත් මේ පින් අපි සියලු දෙනාටම හේතු වාසනා වේවා කියලා සාදු කියලා පින් අනුමෝදන් වන්න. දැන් සුළු වේලාවක් මේ අයට පොඩි බ්‍රේක් එකක් නිවාඩුවක් ලැබෙනවා 10 හමාර වෙනකම්.
Amaran kalau mana? Bagian bang.
10:45.
Mana? Now, as you have the schedule with you, this is the time to begin the Dhamma talk. Now, everyone may be ready to listen if you went to bathroom or something, and now you may be back by now. And we will begin the Dhamma talk at this time. Huh? Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Nirajas Sunantu Saggamokkadang Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayam Bhadanta Dhammasavana kalo ayang badantam. Dhammasavana kalo ayang badantam. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Saddha dhanang sila dhanang hriyottapiyang dhanang sutta dhanancha chagocha panyave sattamang dhanang ti. Good morning, everyone. Today, Duruthu January full moon day still retreat for us. In Sri Lanka, we can engage in this type of activities on the full moon day itself. But in our case in this country, we have the habit or the practice of celebrating the full moon, the closest possible weekend. So today, the closest weekend to the Duruthu Poya, and we are celebrating the Duruthu Poya. Celebrating means something that we can enjoy, do, and engage in doing something enjoyable. That is celebration. So being able to make offerings to the Buddha, pay homage to the Buddha, observing precept, listening to Dhamma, and Kalena Dhamma Savana, listening to participating in Dhamma Sakaccha, Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, and meditating, calming the mind. These type of activities are supposed to be enjoyable for the cultured people. Cultured people is the Arya, is the Buddhist word. In Buddhism, we use the word Arya always to denote cultured behavior, cultured, civilized, cultured, refined teaching, Arya Satya, cultured truth, cultured people's truth, things like that. We use the word Arya. So we engaged in wholesome activities and enjoy doing that because it enrich our lives. Enrich our lives. So today's Dhamma talk is about making ourselves wealthy and making ourselves rich in a cultured way. More refined way of developing wealth. Building wealth is a common practice of all of us in the world. Buddha has encouraged for the lay members, lay followers. That is something very important to accumulate wealth for yourself systematically, because you are going to live a life not as a monk or nun, but as a lay person with your family and your children and your relatives and other people around you. And therefore, it is very important that you accumulate material wealth. Buddha has given so many advices how to accumulate wealth and how to preserve the one that you have accumulated without wasting. And in Vyagapadya Sutta and Singalo are the sutta like suttas. When the Buddha was talking to young people, he has given many advices how to work hard and accumulate wealth and preserve it and use it in the proper way, and all these things are uh, taught by the Buddha. So therefore, you should not think that Buddha discouraged the accumulation of wealth. Even Samma Ajiva in the Eightfold Path means generating your wealth in a proper way. You can do it in an improper way, that is unwholesome way, but you can do it in a wholesome way, and that means you can generate wealth and use that wealth correctly, and that is something that Buddhist should be engaged in, not the unwholesome ways of generating wealth. So when you study about that, you can always find out so much information about this type of advices and guidance given by the Buddha in many occasions. So if you think that Buddha encourage only material wealth, that is not correct. Buddha also emphasized another type of wealth that we should accumulate. That is called Arya Dana. Dana means wealth. Arya means noble, cultured way of accumulating wealth. Arya Dana. And one of the sermons, Buddha suggested about 7 noble wealth that we should accumulate, and we should work on accumulating while we are accumulating normal wealth that everyone does. So the today's Dhamma talk is a little bit about what we really, as Buddhists, while we are generating wealth, what are the other most important type of wealth that we should accumulate and generate and build. So building wealth in regular life is not just accumulating money and making a big bank account, but some of your wealth is in the bank, some of your wealth is in your property, some of your wealth is in your children, because you spend a lot of money to send them to school and make them dress well and make them have comfortable lives and good food and things like that. That is also part of dana. One of the wealth that you have is your children, your property, your bank account. That is money, and sometimes it is jewelry. You have jewelry and gold. Some people collect jewelry and gold, and while some others are focusing more on property and things like that. But generally, there are many types of wealth that we can accumulate, as we see. So it is not just the money, but many other different type of wealth that we have as wealthy people. Uh, so if these wealthy people have worked hard and being diligent in generating and being mindful and being wise in generating wealth, and most important part of accumulating wealth for Buddhists is to do it in a wholesome way. Wholesome way means without stealing from others, without giving pain and suffering to others. You accumulate your wealth is approved by the Buddha, and also not just to accumulate wealth, but also use it correctly for your family and children and religion and schools and hospitals and other uh, important services. You have to use that wealth. But we should know that wealth is a very important source of our protection from trouble. When we are getting into trouble, we throw some money and we protect ourselves from that trouble. And when we had car broken on the freeway, you throw some money and get the car home and get it fixed and do all those things. And so the wealth is something that bring you comfort and protection and things like that. And then this noble wealth is exactly the same, make you feel very rich compared to a lot of other people who don't have that much wealth. When you cultivate noble wealth also, so this is something that we should pay attention to, especially as Buddhist, because this knowledge, this type of knowledge, unless you are a extremely wise person, you cannot generate by yourself. But being a Buddhist, everything is laid out for us out of compassion by the Buddha. All what we have to do as Buddhist, learn what the Buddha taught, because all the other people who are not Buddhist, who are not exposed to Dhamma, don't have that luxury. We who are Buddhist, happen to be Buddhist, and we found the Dharma for some reason, and we are so fortunate. The knowledge is available for us immediately. So that is what we do basically. Now, what I'm talking about is uh, the knowledge that a wise person generate is very valuable. So the Buddha has been the wisest being on earth. He has laid out all the necessary wisdom. That knowledge is called wisdom. So that wisdom is hand over to us. All what we have to do is learn it and put it into practice. So this is why we are so lucky that Dhamma is always available for us so easily, but not for too long. In a time like this, we are still lucky to be able to hear the Dhamma and read the Dhamma and learn the Dhamma and follow it and enhance our quality of our lives. So today, let's pay attention to one of the most important teaching that is given by the Buddha for people like us regarding accumulation of wealth. So the Sapta means 7, Arya means noble, Dhana means wealth. Sapta Arya Dhana. In Sanskrit, Saptarya Dhana. Saptarya Dhana. So the 7 type of wealth. The first type of wealth is called Saddha Dhana. Just like we in the material world, we accumulate cash, we accumulate property, we accumulate gold. These are the 7 type of wealth that we can accumulate as wise people. Saddha Dhana. Saddha means normally translate as faith, but it is not necessarily faith in the Buddha or faith in the Dhamma, but I would translate it as confidence. Confidence in the Buddha, confidence in the Dhamma, confidence in the Sangha. Confidence in the Buddha means confidence in the Sangha, Dhamma. When you have the confidence in the Dhamma, people who practice and follow it is a Sangha. So it's all confidence in the Dhamma ultimately. So the wisdom and the knowledge. For example, if educated, well trained physicians are saying that we should wear a mask in a epidemic, pandemic time like this, it is helpful for you to protect yourself. That's what you hear from the experts. But if you don't have the confidence in the experts, you neglect it and you ignore it. And as a result, you get sick and you suffer a lot, and even you might lose your life that you never want to happen. So the all simple thing is that you didn't have the confidence in the advice given by the experts. So the Buddha is the expert in life. So if you have the confidence in what the Buddha taught, we would be normally very careful in following and practicing the advice of the uh, Buddha, and which is the Dhamma, the wisdom. We take it seriously and we follow it. As a result, we protect ourselves from a lot of danger. Not only we protect ourselves from danger, we strengthen our immune system, we strengthen our ability to make better decisions, and things like that is possible when you have confidence in the Dhamma, confidence in the Buddha, Saddha. So a lot of people, when you hear the word, oh, you are going to be, Buddha has said, taught us that every person and every being, including birds and cats and insects and all those beings, when they die, they are going to be reborn. When they reborn in happy places or unhappy places, or they reborn as animals or humans or divine beings based on what you have been accumulating as karma in this life and in the previous lives. So this is a wisdom that is coming from the expert. Buddha was the expert about life, just like the expert scientist is telling you about how to protect yourself from the virus. The Buddha is teaching all these important things, and uh, everyone who is here is going to reborn again, and you are going to have a life again. And if that life is going to be miserable, it is up to you, by doing things incorrectly here. And some people say, how do you know you are going to be born? We don't know. How do you know we are going to be born according to what we have done in this life? previously. It is. I don't think it is possible. But you are not the expert in the life in about life. So when you hear it from the expert, it is very important that you take it seriously. Then even if you don't have 100% understanding of what may happen, so you say, okay, if I do behave badly in current life, so my next life will be very unhappy and life of suffering. In that case, if it happens or not, it is better for me to be proper in this life, because I get a lot of benefit being proper in this life. So even if you don't have saddha, confidence in what is taught by the Buddha regarding the next life and the karma, if you are a wise person, you think wisely and you protect yourself. But most of us are not wise people, unfortunately. So only few people can think like that. But ordinary people like us should have the confidence in the teachings of the Buddha, because Buddha has taught so many things. He has studied so much for millions of kalpas to teach us, and that means uh, most of the other things that I can simply see in this life. If you be harsh to others, you would be treated badly. You can see it for yourself. Buddha has said it, now you can see it. But you don't see if you are going to be born in the next life. You don't know. But you can see for sure if you are rude to others, and they will be rude to you. So you can see. So this type of things Buddha has taught. You can verify many things, but something like this unverifiable. So then you have to be careful. So then when the doctor says it's better to wear a mask in a time like this, and you just wear it to protect yourself, and that is a smart thing to do. So saddha you have to cultivate. Confidence in the Buddha's teaching has to be cultivated. More you have the confidence, gradually you directly begin to see, yes, this is possible. Most of the things that Buddha has taught, not most of the things, but all of the things, you accept um, temporarily with the confidence of what the Buddha is saying. You accept it, and then you keep practicing it, and in this life itself, you begin to see, wow, that was true. Oh, I'm so glad I followed the teachings of the Buddha. Now, as a result, I am safe, I am happier, I am more joyful. So, things like that could happen. For example, if the person who followed the advice of the expert scientists during the pandemic, you follow all the guidelines, like wearing the mask properly and washing your hands, and not going to public too much, and things like that you follow, and you see that you are safer, and your neighbor was not safe, and went to the hospital, and maybe he died, and all these things happened because they didn't have the confidence about the experts. So in Buddhism, it is exactly like this. If you don't uh, see what the Buddha had to teach you about your life, about my life, that I don't know too much about, you don't know too much about, but we take Buddha as the expert, and that is called Saddha. That is a wealth. This person was well protected because his wealth of confidence in the experts. So when about the climate change and about other things, a lot of experts bring a lot of guidance for us, and if we follow the guidance and we save the lives of our quality of our life of our children and the future people and things like that. So then Saddha is something very important. Why are you observing 8 precepts? And why are you listening to Dhamma today on the full moon day? Why are you thinking it is good to practice little sila, and it is good to practice little bhavana, concentration? Why? Because you already have saddha for some extent. If you didn't have saddha, confidence in the Buddha, you will never be sitting and listening to this Dhamma talk. So you are lucky. You should be grateful to yourself and your parents who encourage you to cultivate saddha. Your teachers have encouraged you to cultivate saddha. Your monks in your temple, in your Sunday school, have encouraged you to cultivate saddha. As a result, you are engaging in improving your saddha further, improving your sila further, improving your concentration further, and all these are directly benefiting to your life and our lives right here, right now, not next life. If you observe precepts, um, if you try to calm your mind, all the benefits that you are gaining from um, being proper is right here and right now, not after that. So all of us are should very lucky to be able to participate in activities like this, and further cultivate our saddha, which is a wealth, which is a extreme um, very valuable wealth that we have. A lot of other people who are Buddhist, who have exposed to Buddhism, didn't have enough saddha. That means they are poor, not as rich as you are, and they don't even know that we have a retreat today in this area, and everybody is observing precepts and following Dhamma as much as they can, listen to the Dhamma and all this. They don't know. They don't know. They don't care because they are poor. Only people who are rich with saddha are sitting here and listening to participating in this retreat. So you should be very happy for being rich in that sense. Other wealth that we can accumulate is called sila. Saddha dhanam, sila dhanam. Sila means your virtue, your ability to always do the right thing, your ability to say the right thing and behave in the right way in public, with your family, with your friends, what is to say, what is not to say in public, what is to do, what is not to do. If you are aware of these things, if you are good at following those things, that is called sila. That is a extreme wealth, very high valuable wealth for you if you have the skill. Sila is a skill. No? If you have the skill of sila, behaving properly, you are always lucky and going to be happier and more free of frustration and fear and trouble. So because you had the ability to follow the virtuous life. So when you observe 5 precepts like today, we are practicing to be proper most of the time or all the time if possible. It is very difficult to be proper because in this life a lot of people give you hard time, and when you receive all this and you get upset and angry, and when people abuse you or things like that, it is very difficult to be proper. And sometimes your greed comes, and when you want to possess something, even that is belong to someone else, you have the tendency to fight for it and take it away from the other person, and that's a bad behavior because of our greed. So when you these kind of things happen in our society all the time, something or some person belong to some other family or some other person, other people steal, and that is because of greed. So that is absence of sila. If the person with virtue never steal any person from any other family and take that person as your own um part of your own family, some things like that happen. Wealth regarding properties, these kind of things happen, and out of greed. So we are greedy people, but we are trying to overcome greed by following a proper behavior. So okay, I want this, but that is not mine, so don't take it. So you don't take it. So that is sila. If you don't have sila, you just take it. So you visit family. In that family, you see the jewelries are sitting outside in the living room somewhere, and you think they are so beautiful or so valuable, and you pick one or two in out of that, or maybe the whole thing. You put it in your pocket and you go your home, take it to your home. So that is improper behavior. That is stealing, right? So we don't do things like that. And if you have that, you don't get into trouble. You don't. Those people may complain to you, and maybe you get arrested. Maybe you go into jail because you are a very poor person. If you are, because you are poor, now you are in jail. If you are rich, no, you will never be in jail if you are rich in virtue. So being rich in virtue is something that you have to accumulate. Why are we observing precept on the full moon day? Because we want the wealth, accumulate the wealth of sila, being proper. So do you have to observe precept uh, every full moon day? It is possible, it is good, but every day and every moment you have to be careful of not being improper. So it is protected. So that wealth, that's a skill. That skill is a wealth, and so sila is a very important wealth. A lot of people don't have, but even some of us called Buddhist, uh, we are very poor in that area sometimes. Most of the time, except for few people in our society who have put a lot of effort to generate this wealth, which is proper behavior, have this wealth. A lot of other people don't have this much, that much wealth. So we are poor in that sense. So then another hiri. Hiri literally means disgust. Hiri, in Sinhalese we have a nice word called hirikitai. Hirikitai means very repulsive. I don't want to do that kind of work, that kind of things. I don't want to behave that like that. I don't want to use that kind of language because that's not us. That is not me. You have some real self-respect. Because of that self-respect, some behavior is repulsive, and you don't engage in those repulsive behavior. So harming others or behaving erratically in public. So maybe a girlfriend or boyfriend together, and they can behave very unpleasantly in public, and this couple think, no, 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 we are not that kind of people. We are decent people. So you are repulsive of behaving improperly in public as a young couple. In this case, I'm giving you an example. No? And if you have the opportunity to um, pick up something valuable at a museum or something, nobody happened to be there, and then this is a valuable gem or something, and now you can take it and put it in your pocket and go home, but you don't do that kind of things because it is very repulsive behavior for a cultured people. Cultured people don't do that. Arya Dana, that is the Hiri is very important thing. Repulsiveness is called moral repulsiveness, moral disgust, moral disgust. So cultivate that one uh, is very important because of lack of this wealth. Um, we get into a lot of frustration and fear, and when you are poor, it always bring you frustration and fear and worries and suffering. So when you are wealthy, you can use that money to protect you and bring you whatever you want. So same thing about Hiri. If you have this wealth, then you don't behave uh, in a wrong way. You are repulsive of doing the wrong thing. Okay, then next one. Ottapya. You have heard the word hiriotap. In Sinhalese, we always use this word as a combination. Hiriotap. Hiriotap is something. If you are a child from a decent family, well respected parents in the society, and so the children have to have hiriotap. Although they are rich with money, they don't use that improperly, and they are afraid. The ottappa means fear. The hiri means disgust of doing the wrong thing. Yeah, repulsiveness. I don't want to do that kind of things. We don't do that kind of things. Our family don't speak like, in our family we don't speak like that attitude. No, I don't want to do that. And then the fear. Oh, I don't want to be in jail. Why do I want to be in jail doing this kind of things? So if you are smart enough to see the repercussion or the later negative effects by looking at the situation. You go to a certain neighborhood in the city, as soon as you drive in or walk in, you can tell that this neighborhood is not a very safe neighborhood, and you start thinking, oh, this is a dangerous place. I don't want to be in this type of place. Let us get out of this place. Right? So that is because, not because he's afraid of death, but you don't want to be in the wrong place thinking that I'm not afraid. No, it's good to Like, sometimes we say, I don't want to stand on the middle of the freeway to prove that I am not afraid. No, that's not a smart thing to do. So, just like that, Hiriotap is a very highly praised well for cultured people, cultured society. When we talk about a young lady of a good family, oh, that person has a lot of wealth of Hiriota. That means that young lady is well behaved and well refined, and that means add more to her looks, because personality is much more powerful than the looks itself. So uh, if it is, although we say that lady, that young lady is a person with a lot of hiriotap, that means very rich in that area, that does not mean it is for this young lady only, but any person who has developed hiriotap, that person is always a respectable person who don't want to defile that person by bringing wrong reputation and things like that. If you don't have the repulsiveness of doing the wrong thing, it is so easy for you to do things that bring you defame, make you um, make you unacceptable in the society. So the Hiriotapiandana, Hiriotap, something that goes together. Hiri means repulsiveness or the disgust of doing the wrong thing. Otap means fear of doing the wrong thing. I don't want to be arrested in public or in private. So I don't want to do that kind of things. So that kind of feeling, that's called fear of uh, fear of doing the wrong thing. So this is called hiriota. That's a wealth that we have, and you can give that to your children by teaching children, by guiding children. You give all this wealth, just like other wealth, you are transferring little by little to your children. This wealth is also something that you can transfer to your children. So then we talk about moral shame. That is, here is called moral shame, and moral fear. The two things that we just talked about. Then something is very important that we all know. Sutta Danang. Sutta Danang means, Sutta means in olden days, he is a person who has heard so much, means he's well learned. Sutta means knowledge, accumulated knowledge. Not wisdom, but knowledge. Sutta. When it comes to any serious subject, I have heard about this, I have known this, that there was a danger in this road, and don't go on this road because I heard it in the morning in the news or something. So I heard from my friend that this area is dangerous, don't go. So sutta means knowledge. Knowledge is always good to protect you and improve you. So sutta is a very highly praised wealth by the Buddha. What you are doing is sutta. listening to Dhamma means Suttamaya Panya. You are developing something that through listening, through learning. Sutta means listening, Sutta means learning, uh, educating yourself, and Suttadana means um, constantly people read. The little children who reads a lot become admitted to very good universities, and they don't know why, and parents even don't know why. But what happened was they have been reading constantly, and they have so much knowledge about different things. And even in the interview, when they ask certain question, they don't even know where it is coming from, but this person has read so much, and this person give a very beautiful answer, and people in the interview board would like this person. So as a result, he get into a good university or school or something like that. Huh? So Sutta is very important, and we should encourage our children to read as much as possible, and we also should listen to Dhamma and read Dhamma. Dhammapada is some easy to read. Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, difficult at the beginning, but when you keep reading a few times, this become the Dhamma in the Sutra books become very familiar to you, easier. I have a friend who's an American young man who has read Majjhima Nikaya and Digha Nikaya and many other sutras back to back so many times. He was born in this area in Los Altos area, and he became one of my students, and he studied Buddhism for a while, and he went to Sri Lanka and became a monk for a short time and came back, and wealthy guy. He has several homes, only living with moms and his wife and child. And every day, first thing in the morning, he reads at least one sutra before anything else. So even now, for many, many years, even he has read this sutra 100 times, he read it again and go to the next one and go to the next one. So hearing Dhamma and getting knowledgeable about the Dhamma is the ultimate knowledge, not what is happening in Washington, not what is happening in Sri Lanka or someplace, all these politics. No, Dhamma. Read Dhamma, and that's ultimate knowledge. Sutta Dhanancha. That is Sutta means education. No? Sutta means education, learning, and accumulating knowledge. And then the thing is that chaga. Chaga means being able to let go. That means practice of giving. Most of the people who engaged in accumulating wealth, money, in the savings, maybe sometimes in the stocks and things like that. People in this culture constantly accumulate wealth, but most of the people don't practice giving, sharing. But even in the West, all the wise people constantly encourage you without any religion, without nothing to do with any religion. They say a certain amount, maybe 10%, 20%, 30% of what you earn should be given to charities for good purposes. So then, this is the chaga, means your ability to let go. When you see a person in need, then you just open your wallet and without thinking too much. And if this person is going to take drugs with this $10, or is he going to get a bottle of wine and drink further, it doesn't matter. So you see that person is hungry, you just give the money and just let go. And after that, don't even think about it. So the practice of giving is skill and it's a wealth. But lot of people are poor. So you can tell when they when you go buy something for your mother, for your friend, don't be stingy. Lavishly spend for your mother. If it is for the Buddha Puja, do it best. Do it the best you can. Find the finest things you can. That is the good way of letting go. It's like you can buy for Buddha Puja, you can buy some fruits, and you can buy some cheap fruits. But this is today is a Buddha Puja hour, my Buddha Puja hour. I want to offer to the Buddha, the most important person to receive my gift. I want to give the finest fruits, and you find the finest. You spend a little extra and buy the finest fruits. You buy a present for your mom, buy the finest. Your dad, and something like that important. So always spend a little extra. That is only rich people can do. But rich people, the people rich in spiritual wealth can do it. There are a lot of people are not rich in spiritual wealth. That means ability to let go, ability to share, uh, practice sharing is very in that area. Some people are very poor, and we should not be poor. We have to accumulate that wealth. Just like we are accumulating more gold, we are accumulating more property or something like that, we have to accumulate the ability to let go. And the last one is time is getting up a little bit. Uh, Something very important that Buddha said was in this list. Buddha has given so many lists, and some people even don't know why Buddha has given so many lists: Eightfold Pattern, Four Noble Truths, 32 five skandhas, and Chittakshanas, all these large numbers, because it's a Buddhism is a manual for life. Only in manuals, when you turn the manual, you can see you need to fix this particular problem. You need this tool, this tool, this tool, this tool, and then 5, 6 tools that they mention at the beginning. So now you have this, and now this is another first step, second step, third step, fourth step, and final step, and your car is fixed. Now your car can run properly, because in the manual, it is explained step by step clearly, using what is needed and how it is done. All these numbers are there. That is why in Buddhism you see numbers. Buddhism is not a religion. It is how to live your life efficiently and correctly. Is the one that Buddhism is bringing you. It's not how to believe in some power and how to get things done with the help of this power. No, that is not what the Buddha is teaching. So when you become a Buddhist, you are a scientist. You fix your problems. You improve your quality of your life by using techniques, using proper methods. That is Buddhism. So therefore, every person who has a life have to know Buddhism, because Buddhism is the manual for one's life. So it is very important that you don't take Buddhism as another religion to go to heaven or something. No, how to fix yourself and how to make your life working perfectly, and ultimate perfection is enlightenment. And anyway, the last one, seventh noble wealth. is called wisdom. Wisdom means see the causes and conditions related to the life. When the causes and conditions related to physics is in the physical world is called physics. Causes and conditions related to chemistry is in chemicals is called chemistry, right? And causes and conditions related to life is called dhamma. So if you have wisdom, you can see dhamma. So wisdom is something that you have to have, accumulate a lot. If more wisdom you have, more knowledge of your life you have. When you know the causes and conditions of things related to life, all what you do is make it the way that you put the causes and conditions in a way that it creates the pleasant result. So that is avoiding negatives. When you see that if I am rude to my family member, my wife or something, and she's not happy, and when she's not happy, things don't go well in this life, and therefore I should not be rude to my wife. And that is a wise understanding. That's wisdom. Causes and seeing the causes and cause and conditions, and same thing about children, same thing about your feelings, and why do I feel depressed, and because I have been doing this, engaging in this, that at this time, as a result, now I am very depressed. I am even thinking of committing suicide, and all these things happen because of the way that I did things, see things, discuss things at some point in the past. So from now on, I'm going to change that. As a result, I'm going to get out of my depression, and I don't want to feel like killing myself and things like that. You can see when you have wisdom. So saddha danang sila danang. Dana means wealth. Hiriyottapyang danang. Sutta education. Sutta danancha chagocha, practice of giving. Panyave sattamang danang, seventh wealth that you can accumulate, you can increase, is panya, wisdom, emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is very important, and without emotional maturity, life is going to be very, very miserable. And by listening to this talk, you develop a type of panya, type of wisdom. That wisdom is called wisdom that I gain through listening, through learning. But that's not real wisdom. You got a good idea of what I should be accumulating. When you start accumulating these things, then you'll see, yes, my life is much better than before. I'm so happier than before. Like that. So you see for yourself. That is Chintame Panya means you can keep thinking about what the Buddha has taught. Saddha Dana, Sila Dana. It is actually a wealth. I can accumulate, I can make myself rich. Then you see for yourself, if you have a lot of Sila, you are very rich. If you have Saddha, you are very rich. If you have Hiri and Ottappa, you are very rich, because you don't be miserable. All the miserable people are the people who are poor. And when you start thinking like that, you gradually cultivate your wisdom a little bit more. And finally, you actually do all these things, and then you say, wow, I was so poor those days, but now I'm so rich. It's just like you are watching your bank account going up, and you becoming rich. You can buy anytime. If you want to buy a car, you can buy a car. If you want to buy a car for your daughter to go to school, you can buy a car for the daughter because you are rich. So same thing about this wealth. You can do a lot of things that normal poor people cannot do in this area. This is spiritual wealth. Without this spiritual wealth, all of you are very poor, no matter how much money you have in the bank and how much money you have invested in the real estate and gold and stocks and things like that. Doesn't matter, you are poor. So today, think about these things. Don't believe when the Buddha say, don't take my word. You see for yourself. You try to see for yourself. Most important thing in Buddha's teaching is to not to believe what you heard. You see for yourself and get the benefit directly towards yourself, not for somebody else. So you learn it, you practice it, you get the benefit, and that is yours. And this is the Dhamma message for today. And now it's time for us to sit down and listening to Dhamma is very important. Kusala. Kusala means developing your skills. We can share this. When you have kusala, you also have positive energy. When you have been doing good things, skillful things, your energy level goes up. At this moment, your energy level is gone up. And let us think of our deceased family members and relatives and friends. And share our joy and our positive energy with them, thinking may they be happy and joyful wherever they may be born, and may they also be able to listen and hear and practice the teachings of the Buddha wherever they are now. And by doing so, may they be able to improve their wisdom and cultivate their sila and samadhi. And finally, may they all attain ultimate peace. With these thoughts in our mind, let us recite the Gatha. Ittavata idam me jnati nang hotva. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Let us share the merit with all the devas. Akasatta Chevummatta Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang Anumuditva Chirang Rakkantu Lokasasanang. Akasatta Chevummatta Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang Anumuditva Chirang Rakkantu Desanang. Akasatta Chevummatta Devanaga Mahiddika Punyantang anumuditva chirang rakkantu tvang sada. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's the end of the Dhamma talk, and thank you very much for listening. And now we have a short break. And in few minutes, we come back and start sitting for few minutes. That is meditation. Thank you.